Photography Festival and this particular talk, this particular event. Then, of course, I would like to thank today's speakers, Mr. Harald Achling, Mr. Ferenc Turok, and Mr. Vladimir Rees. Thank you so much for finding time in your busy schedule and sharing the knowledge and skills with the followers of Baku Street Photography Festival. As I understood, we're going to speak about the CPS Canon professional service and how it can make a program. So without wasting our time, I would like to give floor to Mr. Harald Salfing.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Harald Salling. That's the way I pronounce it, but you can pronounce it anyway. I'm a professional photographer and videographer for more than 20 years now, working at Canon to support enthusiasts and pro photographers. Today, I want to introduce to you the Canon Professional Services, in short, CPS. Many of you might not have heard about CPS yet, as in many countries so far, there was only limited benefit for you in being a member of this community, or that I even more see it as a club that you can adhere to. So what is CPS and what is in for you? First of all, the membership is free, very important, no charges. So to be part of it, you just have to register. You have to admire Canon. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. No, just kidding. You just have to register. We have 4 different classes or levels in the CPS area. It is red, silver, gold, and platinum. Red is the entry level, silver goes up, gold a little bit more, and platinum. When you first register, you start in the status red. Then you can register your equipment there. And I always think it's a good idea to have somewhere stored all your serial numbers, by the way. So if anything gets lost, you find it, yeah. But you can register your equipment, and every part you register gives you some points to move up to higher levels. But let me now come to the point, what is in it for you? First, it is about service speed. We all know that if your equipment needs repair, luckily with the given quality, it is not so often more today that the equipment is a failure, but more you drop it or you crash it in any way. But if you need a repair, the most important for you is to get it back, get it repaired as fast as possible. So CPS gives you the fastest turnaround time that is possible in your country. And I want to stress very much the possible in your country, as it is important to understand that not all countries can give you the same level of speed. The CPS website states, for example, a repair time for the silver level of 5 days. 5 days is super, but 5 days can only be done if you have all the spare parts. So in most of the countries, and especially also in your country, the country doesn't have the level to provide you silver service level. But the best service credits, the service facilities will try their best to match it. But turnaround is also depending upon delivery of spare parts. And this is the crux here, because the silver or the high service level in the country can only be reached if they have a huge stock of spare parts, which is not possible in every country. We are constantly working to improve all these levels for all countries. But to be honest, I'm not very long with Canon. I've been a professional photographer, but just started, and I'm working on CPS. But we are at the start of this journey. And but it is important that the CPS membership is valid worldwide. So you can also have your gear repaired abroad and use the service level available there. For example, if you travel to United Kingdom, or you travel to, I think Turkey has quite a good level, and take your equipment with you, you can have the benefit, you have the repair times they have there. You can also send it by mail, but as the way I understood it, it's always it's the same problem with the spare parts to get in the country. It's the same problem to get them out of the country and back again, so you lose much time. But if something is very urgent, I would recommend to you, go to your service facility, say that you're a CPS member, and they will try their best. And if they're not able to fulfill your needs, then probably there is an idea of giving the gear out abroad to another country. Yeah, this was about service, but now let's come to a second point, and CPS is not only about service. So far, it was mainly service. In the future, we will change that. We started to give the CPS community another benefit, and this is events. At the moment, this is a little restricted. You know, in the first half, we were restricted to webinars due to Corona, but in the very near future, we all hope to have physical attendance as well. I'm really looking forward to visiting Baku, I can tell you. I like traveling around. I like talk to people face to face. So I think this is something we are all have been waiting for.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah, we all. These events, open to all registered CPS members, are here to inspire you, and for the physical events, also to try new material and enrich your portfolio, because we can set up shooting conditions that a photographer on his own can hardly afford to set up. I mean, if we get a horse and a camel and whatever is funny, if we make it for many photographers, we can afford it. If you would have to do it on your own, it will ruin your budget. Professionals such as the Canon ambassadors will talk about their work and give hints how to handle specific situations. And the best thing, as it is all live, as it is today, you can ask them questions which will be answered immediately. We don't want to have recorded webinars in a way so that you can then bring your answer. If you want to have, if you want to bring up a question, then you can do it. And I also encourage you, you can do this right now, and you can do this today. So any questions you have, right, whether it is with me or it is with Ferenc or with Vlad, just speak up. We will try to manage the language constellation. We will try to handle that. We want to bring you as close to the best of the best photographers as possible. Camera's blurry. Oh, that shouldn't be. Is it better now? Yeah. Yeah, I see. Okay. Thanks for this hint. Very good. I'm using an M50 Mark II and a Mark I, and that doesn't have the latest autofocus, so I put it on manual focus, and I misjudged it. So, okay. We want to bring you to the best photographers, and we want you to help develop your skills. I mean, no matter at what level you are, there's always a way to find new things to do. And let me state another very important point. We photographers are actually facing a tremendous change in the photographic world, which is only comparable with the switch from analog to digital. I'm talking about mirrorless. The new mount gave engineers the possibility to produce a new level of lens quality. We have a new, incredible, capable autofocus system, new sensors, and so on. Does it mean you have to switch? Well, Going to mirrorless is, of course, an investment which needs to be well considered. And here, CPS comes into play again. We can help you. CPS can be a partner to help you on that journey, whether you have questions, whether you want to try equipment. The actual equipment does not degrade, of course. You can keep it using, and there are also EF to RF adapters, so you don't have to change in one step everything. But I can tell you from my own experience, the moment I had it in my hands, I didn't want to let go anymore. The switch is really worth it. Ferenc will tell you a little bit more about the fantastic possibilities. But one last thing, before I hand over to Ferry, may I ask you, please register to CPS. For us, it is important to have a high number count of CPS users in the country, because that enables us to do more in the country. And you can find everything on the web page. I'm trying to share this web page now, so you know where it is. Just a second. I go down. Here you see the 4 levels, yeah, but this is not so much what I wanted to show. This is the website. You can find it on Canon AZ Pro, Canon Professional Services, and it's always a dash, yeah. So this is how it looks like. And what is very important, I've written it down here, please make sure you tag the opt-in. Opt-in means you have to step down 3 menus to find this, but opt-in means you will receive information from us. You can always stop it, so it's not until the end of your life you will get every week information. Don't worry, you will not be overwhelmed by tons of information. We will just give you what is good for enthusiasts and professionals. And if you don't opt in, you also do not get the invitations that we have. Vladimir Rees, a really famous photographer, and he's mostly connected to Formula One, but I think this is too much limiting his real abilities, because he's much more than a Red Bull photographer. He's much more than a Formula One circus photographer. You can really see it. He will have a webinar very soon, and he will give you a teaser at the end. And this is, for example, you will get the invitation if you're registered for CPS. So that's it from my side. I hope it was clear. And probably I will hand over to Ferry, unless there are any questions which we should answer probably right now.
I strongly apologize. Before we hand over to Mr. Torok, I would like to mention one thing. For the participants, for the attendees of today's event, you cannot switch on your microphones, unfortunately. The webinar format does not allow that, but you can address your questions. You can refer them to our speakers through the Q&A section of the webinar. And we already have a question from a young female photographer, Miss Shalala Mamadova, who is saying that she has never had a camera before, but she's planning to purchase one, and she wants your advice for a beginner. Which type of camera should she go for?
Yeah, this is usually a very difficult question, I would say, Harold, because
I will answer it. I can answer that. Don't worry. It very much depends, but it is also a question how much you can afford to use on a camera. If you're a real beginner, then I would really recommend you something in the range of the M50. The M50 Mark II is a new camera. She has the latest autofocus system, which has face detection, which is very good, very easy. It is not too expensive. I would say I can express in euros the camera in total plus a flash would cost you approximately 1,000 euros in total. With a starting lens, which is a good lens. And my recommendation to every beginner is do not just purchase the camera and the lens, purchase a flash as well. The flash that is with the camera is typically rather weak. It is recommendable for 2 to 3 meters, not more than that. And photography means painting with light. And how do you want to paint with light if you don't have a flash? So my recommendation is get the camera in the cheapest set. Rather step down. Don't make a huge investment. I mean, I can recommend you R6. R6 is a gem. It's a beautiful camera, does everything. You would love it. But it's probably a class too high to start. M50 is a nice camera which can bring you very much up. And when you feel that the camera is the limit, then you can easily step up.
You know, I usually say, I hope you also agree with me, and also Vlad agrees with me that actually, if you want to judge which is better where to spend more money, I would say invest in good lenses, because camera body can always develop with you. And here I should take it over and say something about the cameras.
Yeah, please.
And what I would like to say is that choosing a camera, and what Harold was saying in the beginning regarding the EOS R, we are living a transition, as he said, similar from changing to analog to digital. Now we are changing to classical DSLR to mirrorless system, giving a lot of opportunities. And actually, when we look on the assortment, what Canon offers for photographers in the digital or mirrorless camera range, with the EOS R system, it's just created a wonderful system. It's not just a camera, it is a totally new way the camera and lenses are built. So actually, when we look on the concept, usually Canon was always saying the philosophy is high speed, ease of use, and high image quality. So these are the three main pillars engineers are taking care of when developing a camera. And when we launched the EOS R system back in 2018, these things had been updated with the latest technology. Just don't think about the EOS system is with us for more than 30 years. So this means it was time to update. And I think that the engineers went back to the drawing board and just start thinking about what a camera is. And they came up with the EOS R system, with a large lens diameter, lens mount, short back focus, and very, very strong communication systems. And I think these points, looking also on competition cameras, will lead Canon to the position we had in the EF, in the classical DSLR system. So the two cameras we're speaking about now is EOS R5 and EOS R6, which was just launched last year. And if you look on these cameras, I mean, I just don't want to get into really into specs and details, just give you a hint about the ideas behind the camera. EOS R5 is a high-level camera with a high-resolution CMOS sensors, 45 megapixel, supporting fast 20 frames per sec shooting speed, high ISO, dual card slot, and 8K movie recording functionality, and an in-body image stabilizer working together with the optical image stabilization. The smaller brother is the EOS R6, which was Harold recommending as a starting point for the EOS R system, has 20 megapixels. This gives us a very good low light capability. Focusing works till -6.5 EV. It also capable of shooting 20 frames per sec. It runs the dual pixel CMOS focusing system, which I will cover it a bit later, and it also gives you a wonderful low light capabilities and sensitivities. Its dust and drip resistance. EOS R5 gives you a magnesium alloy body with high shutter counts, giving you the durability you need. If you want to compare these two cameras, well, EOS R5 has a nice LCD panel on the top. EOS R6 has the mode dial at the same time. This is if you look from outside, but the main things are really inside. One thing is focusing. And what we say is dual pixel focusing, and this I want to touch on a bit more. We introduced dual pixel CMOS focusing back in, I don't know, it was the EOS 80D, long time ago. And since then, we developed it, and now it's raised on a different level. It covers the full sensor area or viewfinder area, 100% horizontal, 100% vertical. If you run automatically, it can cover 1,000 points, 1,053 points. And if you have selections, manual selections, you can select almost 6,000 focusing point, which is a lot. I think it's even more you can imagine. The only thing which is important is the camera, sensors, every single pixel behaves as a focusing point. So what we do is run all the pixels taking part in the focusing procedure, giving us a lot of possibilities, like head detection, eye detection, focusing. So we started to use an artificial intelligence backed up focusing systems, something called the deep learning. And this deep learning algorithm was taught to recognize certain things. And this focusing system can recognize humans, recognize the head, even if the human or the person wears a glove, a hat or goggles, just skier wearing a helmet. It can recognize the eyes, it can recognize the face. So it grabs on to humans. And this was the main thing we started with the EOS R system. And now it has been extended with animal recognition. So we can recognize birds, cats, and dogs. And what people said, it's so good that the camera recognizes or spots a bird even earlier than you can spot it with your own eyes. And this focusing system is developed further and further. So we announced that EOS R3 is coming, and there will be a new focusing mode added, which is, I will be the favorite of Vlad, recognizing cars. So this means a Formula One photographer will just spot on right on the car, shooting on the track. But as this image shows you, the camera will spot the bird of the eye, even if it's a low contrasty situations. And it will support also f/22. So we know that our photofocusing system in the past were working till f/5.6. If somebody is starting photography now, it will be just a little bit confusing, but you could not close the lens so much because the focusing system needed light. With the new system, with the new solutions, we are able to support autofocus till f/22, which is a fantastic thing because you almost don't let light in. And also when you look on the images produced, this is a shot produced with 25,600 ISO. It's clear. You don't see the noise. So all these cameras, so the R6 has really outstanding low ISO performance. You can also focus on subjects really in dark. So the focusing system works to -6.5 EV, which is outstanding, I should say. You can even grab a shot when penguins jump into the water. And the other fantastic thing coming with the system is the stabilization system. So we had for a long time the optical image stabilization system built in to the lenses. And with these two cameras, we added on top of it the in-body image stabilization. So this means that these two systems are able to work together to provide you 8 stops of stabilization. So you can handhold your camera in very, very low light conditions. The way they do is the lens stabilization system is working, the camera stabilization system is working, and they change information and actually refine the way they stabilize it. So they both works together, adding on top of each other the stabilization, and you can really have fixed and steady shots with long exposures. Here is an example with the handheld normal 2 seconds shot with image stabilization off, and the same shot with image stabilization on. You can just freeze or handhold an 8-second shot, and I even know some people are holding 4-second shots without any issues and problems. Also, R5 gave us a lot of video capabilities. So we were the first to offer 8K video, which seems to be crazy, but actually it gives us a lot of possibility to run and create high quality video functionalities. It offers multi-card slots, RAW recordings, different video codecs, OLI, IPV, whatever. I don't want to get into details. With R6, you had 120 frames per sec, Full HD, 4K, 60p. So it's a lot of functions making these cameras excellent for those ones who want to record videos besides their photo shooting. And one thing I would like to show you, which is two interesting new lens. This is the RF 600 and 800 millimeter lens. We all know that based on photographic, let's say, theory, stopping down your lens won't give you very nice bokeh or background blur. But using these lens, using the 600 and 800 millimeter lens, the way the optics convert the space, it will give you a nice and blurred background, as you have it in the example. This shot was shot with RF 800 millimeter f11, stabilized with the 2x extenders, and you can see the bird is pin sharp, and you have a nice blurred background behind it. I'll just quickly show you a few examples which was made by one of my friends, just to show you the way how good it works recognizing, let's say, animals, birds, and things like that. So here's an example. Here's a small little bird in the bushes. It's a bit off center, and this was shot with an R6 and a 600 millimeter lens, and you can see it grabs onto the eye. This little square shows you where the focusing is active, or it's recognized the eye even when it was off center. The same thing here, it's down there. It's just, you can almost hardly recognize the bird, but the camera gets it, grabs it, and gives you a pin sharp image. Here, you see the bird? It's difficult to see, but the camera sees it and sees there's the eye and grabs on the eye on the pigeon. Just look at it.
Amazing.
You can hardly see the bird, but the camera knows that's the bird. And this comes from the artificial intelligence built into the camera for the focusing systems. So this is how good it is, that you don't even see the full bird, It recognizes it. Or for this one, you see, I mean, it's again, the birds and the trees have very similar color, but if you look on it, it's difficult to see, but you can see it focuses on the bird. You don't even have to see the full face. You know, this cheetah is just the half face is lit, and it grabs on to the eyes. And look at the details it have. It was the R5 with the 400mm lens. Look at it, how sharp it is. It grabs on the eyes, and you can see every little bit of fur. If you can see a good monitor, you can see the drops of the on the furs of the cheetah. You can see the water drops there. It's just beautiful. And the speed, you know, it tracks. The cheetah runs, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, roughly around 50 kilometers per hour. And the tracking system can take it. Look at it. I mean, I'll just try to, I hope video comes in, but look at the way it tracks the running cheetah. I mean, I think it's really amazing. So when you look on this, when you look on the focusing system, it is really a miracle. So, and you don't have to have only f11 or the big lenses. You can have low light conditions. Here is R5 using an extender. You have all the details there. And these are the f11 lens. Look at the background blur. So those ones who think f11 is too small to get a nice blurred background, then show these examples. Bird is pin sharp. You can see the details, a nice blurred background. It's again R6 with RF 600. Look at the details. It grabs the eyes, gives you the details. Look at here, nice background. The subject is comes out with all the details. Just to give you a comparison, this is R5 with the standard 600 f4 lens. Look at the background and look at the other one. This is R5 with RF 800 f11. Look at the background. You can hardly say that it's a f11 lens. So if you use extenders, still you have the pinpoint sharp images. And yeah, and you can even work on low ISO 25,600. Look, it's still there. 12,800. It's enough light. 12,800. Look, the details and everything. So this is my part. And if there's any questions, I'm really happy to answer.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, you have. What? Please tell me something.
When can I get the 600 lens then?
That's
We can discuss. We can discuss.
Because you completely sold it to me.
We can discuss. We can discuss. But I think that's your favorite lens will be the new 600. Which is
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm joking, but honestly, like I'm blew away because obviously I didn't know all this stuff until now. And I'm using the R5 already with like smaller lenses and so on, but I really look forward to see it, how it works with the telephoto lenses and stuff. And this really blew me away, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's for me. It was convincing. So I was always skeptic at the beginning. F11. Oh yeah, but that's F11.
Yeah.
It's too small. You have already refractions and all these things. But if I look on these pictures, it's also convincing me. But I really like Vlad because we worked a lot of together. I think doing CPS service in several parts of the world. We met in different circuses, and many times we met in Baku as well, because I was also part of the CPS team. That's doing true. Some kind of support for accredited photographers inside the Press Center. And we have a nice colleague, Teddy Jabarilov. He works in Divi and he is our local service. So he was also part of the team and giving support for photographers. So I think if those people who are, let's say, have questions about or problems with the camera, they can go to DV, because I think they can solve your problems and really repair your cameras. I don't know if there's any questions, Olivia.
No, not yet.
If no questions, then
Please feel free to
if no questions, then Vlad, I would like
to ask a question.
I would like to ask you. I would like to ask you to basically give us a teaser, because just for everybody, we are planning to have another session solely with Vlad. So Vlad will be the main speaker for the evening, and he will speak about his Formula One photography. Maybe we can have more details about some behind the scenes of Baku circuit, city circuit. I know it's quite difficult to do things because of different rights. But,
probably he will also speak about the new 600 when he has it.
No, I mean, yeah, as Ferry said, I just came back from Baku, like on Monday I returned, and it was really nice to be back after 2 years. We didn't go last year due to the pandemic, obviously, but no, Baku, one of my favorite destinations on Formula One calendar, and yeah, it will be great. I mean, you can. I hope I will be able to present you my whole story. Basically, how did I get into Formula One? How did I get into photography in general? Then how did I get into Formula One? How I started from being a staff, moving to freelance, working as a freelance. So. Yeah, and we will have a chat about a few pictures, behind the scenes of these pictures, and some funny stories, hopefully. So I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be nice evening.
I know that Vlad was preparing some shots from the weekend Formula One, but we had some issues with the internet. So I think his internet is crashed, and now he's logging in from his phone. So this means we I don't know if we can share something, but if not, then it's even one more reason to join next event.
You know what? My internet is back, but I'm afraid because it always crashes when I go on my laptop for some reason. From the phone it works, but I have a few pictures on my phone. I don't know if I can just share them with you guys. It's basically just a few shots I did in Baku. I don't know if you can see.
Yes, working.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is one of the pictures. I did a lot of pictures in Baku because obviously the track, city circuit, and all the the old town and everything. It's so nice for us photographers to work around there. It's difficult because we have to walk everywhere, and it's not easy with security procedures and so on. But it's rewarding in pictures. It reminds me a little bit of Monaco. Because of the city circuit and the atmosphere, the layout, but yeah, so it's a hard work, but you can get really nice pictures. This is like a reflection of Checo Perez, who won the race on Sunday. This is from the race actually on Sunday, a picture. And what you see on the left side is a police station, which was just by the street with these mirrored glasses. Mirror glass, and you couldn't see inside, but you can see a nice reflection of the cars passing by. I've never seen this position before. I was just walking around. I didn't know what to do really because the race was quite long, and I was looking for some different pictures. So this one worked out pretty well, and it gives you a nice different perspective, I would say. If I can go on the next one. Obviously, we work in bubbles now in Formula One. So when I work with the team, I work with Red Bull Racing team. I am either in the bubble of the team, which means I'm not allowed to leave the garage basically and the paddock. This is where the drivers are. And if I'm in the other bubble, track side, I'm not allowed to get back in the garage. So it's a little bit complicated for us due to the pandemic, but so I was trackside this race. It was really difficult to get close to the drivers, but this was shot on the starting grid before the race started through the fence, and I was lucky to get close to the Max Verstappen, who was just getting ready, and This is shot on my 400 lens, I think f2.8. So you get a nice blurred bokeh. Ferry was talking about before. This is obviously shot. I use Mark IIIs still during the race, but I also have my R5 always with me, and I use it for like portrait photos and so on. If we go on another one, let me see. Yeah, so this is I had a really nice hotel room this year because I stayed in the Park Inn on the Boulevard, Park Inn Hotel, and when I arrived, they were really nice to me, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Rees, we have a really nice room for you prepared because we know that you are a photographer and so on." I was surprised they knew me, and they go like, "Oh, you can take some nice pictures from the room." I was thinking like, really? And he was like, yeah, this is like last floor, and you see like in both directions, you see the flame towers and you see the starting grid. And then I got to my room and I was like, oh my god, this is like this is beautiful. And so this was shot, I think, during qualifying on Saturday, and it's basically a pen shot. What you see, these white lines, is the bridge for the spectators, which goes over the track. But if you follow the car in that speed they have such a speed on that long straight, I think it's around 300 kilometers an hour, then you can just get a nice effect, like the bridge was completely blurred and you get only these white lines. And if you get it pinch up, I don't know if you can see when I zoom in, I was lucky with this one, so this one worked out. But it was really difficult to get that shot because every car was using a different racing line, different speed. They use different braking points. So sometimes you think you are spot on the car, then the car starts to break down, and then you lose the. So the penning is in itself, the technique is very difficult and quite special for motorsport photographers. But yeah, this one worked out very well. So I was happy with this one. If we go on the next one, it was actually Charles Leclerc who was a surprise of the race, who finished third with Alpha Tauri team, which is I actually an underdog team. So this is my room view. This was my room view.
Wow!
As you see, this is shot through the. This is shot through the glass, so through the window. So this is why it has such a blue greenish kind of touch. And I have three cars in the picture, which I was lucky with as well. There's two Mercedeses and one McLaren in front. And this was also on the qualifying day on Saturday, but it was a nice sunny day. Obviously, most of the days were sunny in Baku, which is great for us photographers as well. So I was just playing around a little bit with reflections through the glass, and but then opening the windows illegally because they were blocked. So I managed how to open them completely, but
a photographer can do anything. You have to be creative. You have to look around. You have to take your chance. You have to get some things. So nothing can stop you if you're a good photographer. Practice.
And look for possibilities.
No, sometimes you have to push the boundaries, but obviously in Formula One you have to be careful, because of the safety reasons and so on. So you can't push it too far, but if you push it a little bit, it's always good. And this is my last picture I wanted to share with you. It's also from that window, but open, so without reflections and stuff. And during the qualifying, the shadow of the building was just slowly moving in, and I saw like this little gap of light, and few cars were using a different racing line, but this McLaren went just straight through, and I was thinking like, this is a nice picture actually. So yeah, it made a nice composition at the end, and also the color of the car is a bit in contrast with the rest of the picture, which makes it really nice. So you can also, I don't know, this would be really nice if you could see it on the picture, not on the screen really, but I think it gives you a feeling of the image. And Yeah, so I was trying to do this kind of stuff. It's obviously you can't get pictures like these in Silverstone, let's say, or other racing tracks. This is the advantage of the city circuits like Monaco or Baku or Singapore, and that's why Baku is one of my top destinations, and really looking forward to go back. Really.
So this means that you can do street photography even in Formula One.
No, it is kind of a street photography, but in a different kind of techniques, different lenses, different. But street photography is amazing. I've tried that once, and it's really, really good fun. And I know I followed. I think I saw a documentary once on a street photography, and these guys are amazing. You know, they just have the camera like hanging on the neck, and people don't even know that they are shooting, and then they just follow the light and or follow some interesting faces or people. And yeah, it's nice. I really like street photography.
No, thank you so much, Vladimir, and thank you for saying that Baku is Azerbaijan is one of your favorite destinations.
No,
I can justify because
Yeah.
it's really nice. I love when we are there in Baku, and I was really missing this pandemic that we could not go. Fortunately, Vlad could go this year, but still we were not allowed to enter. But maybe next year.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
well,
yeah, hopefully.
I have a question.
when we were told that Vladimir is going to be here for Formula One, we were all thrilled. Me and my colleagues, we were very enthusiastic about inviting him over to Yarat Contemporary Art Space. But then, unfortunately, we were told that he leaves on Monday, so there will be.
But you know, next year is coming. Next year is coming. Street Photography Festival will be on next year. Hopefully, Baku City Circuit will operate next year, so that we can make a dedicated workshop for people there.
We really
hope all
hope to
this-
see all three of you in Baku next year.
It'd be great. It'd be great. I hope all the pandemic situation will ease a little bit, and we will get back to normal as well. So it's going to be easier for us to travel as well and visit Baku, hopefully.
Hopefully. Hopefully. And we have another question
Yes.
that I would like you to answer. It starts like this. Dear speakers, it was an amazing talk and very educative. I would like to kindly ask, how do you see the quality and future of photography overall? Is it going to be more emotional or more detailed? What is the main point of that?
What I would say to just grab the first occasion and leave Vlad for the end, for the cherry on the cake.
I will also give my 2 cents.
So what I think is photography is showing the way you see the world. So if you see it emotionally, you'll make emotional pictures. If you are a nature photographer, you will look on photography as a nature photographer to show the environment. If you're a street photographer, then you will show the life on the streets. If you're a documentary photographer, you will document light. So it's the genres are not carved in stone. This is the way people see things. And so I would say there's no one genre ruling all. There are people doing images, showing the world, how they see the world, and there are some other people interested how these people see the world. Yeah, that's for me.
Okay. I would answer that. I would answer that in a way that more detailed. If you think about resolution, probably, so it's a little bit a technical answer mixed with an emotional answer. I think the quality of the cameras we have has evolved to such a high level that it will, in the future, to have an outstanding picture, it will not be enough to have a technically perfect picture. There always has to be a little bit more in it, and that's the emotion, that's the spirit, that's the creative part of it. And I think in my opinion, there is no use to raise the level of detail, physical, technical detail of the pictures much more than what we have right now. I think 4K, 8K, and what comes next. I mean, I think I once had a chance to have a monitor in front of me that was beyond what the eyes can resolve, and there is a certain limit, yeah. And
You know, just to agree with you, I think Canon developed a sensor, 250 megapixel.
yeah,
And I saw an image taken with this one, and you could clearly read the letters on an airplane 18 kilometers, flying 18 kilometers away. So if you think about technical limitations, well, I don't know, the sky is the limit. But again, photography is an art. So this
yeah,
means
the technology will not bring you outstanding pictures. Have more than just. I mean, some years ago, you would say a picture, if it was damn sharp and it was perfect setup, okay, that's a good picture. But now the bar has gone a little bit higher because the camera is so helpful. And to be honest, with the new eye autofocus, it's hard to miss the focus point. Yeah, so there has to be more in the picture, more from I mean, from your heart. Yeah, you have to express with the picture your feeling to what you're taking, what you're seeing there. It's like landscape. I mean, it's not good enough to just take a picture of landscape. There has to be something special about it, like a special light, a special time. And it's not just going there once, taking a picture, done, but you have to watch it for days, years.
You know, if I go out shooting on the Formula One track, I'll just try to get the car into the picture.
Yeah.
You know, fills the frame. And I look on Vlad's pictures and said, oh my God, how far I'm away from this art.
But yeah, the good thing, Vlad's pictures are different, really. I mean, they show a relationship he has to the Formula One, that show deep passion for the sport. And I think this is so the technical resolution and are no longer the measurement. The measurement for quality pictures is the emotion that is in it, for me.
Vlad?
Vlad,
If I can add something.
Okay, we take everything back. We believe in Vlad's answer.
So if I can add something, I agree with what Ferry and Harald said completely. I think photography is completely about emotions. It's you know, it has rules. There's composition rules. There's exposure rules and everything. You have to learn these rules, and that once you learn these rules, you have to learn how to break them to create emotions. Because if you shoot everything based on rules, then it's gonna be just flat and sterile. You know, it's not gonna evoke any emotions. And I also think photography has always been about emotions, and it's also what the photographer himself feels and sees, and he transmits this through photography into the pictures, based on his technical skills, based on his observation, based on his instinct, and based on his feelings. So I guess this is what photography is about, and that's why photography is such a emotional and unique thing, I would say.
Yeah, definitely is. Well, thank you so much for sharing not only your experience tonight, but for sharing your emotions and sharing your positive energy with us. I'm sure that everyone hope to see you out there.
Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, and well, hope to see you. Let's say next year in Baku. No, on a live session.
Please don't forget to register to CPS so we can reach you and invite you to all the
And
things that we will do in the future.
this is important because
This is important.
CPS is one of the way we convey informations about seminars and webinars and things like
Because
that.
if you put it into Facebook or any of social media, we can never be sure to reach you. So this is always, you have a good chance to get it, but on the CPS system, we can definitely get the little information we have. It's don't worry, it's not like every day you get a mail, but the information we have, we can get it directly to you and make sure that you get it if you want it, which is not guaranteed on social media, and that's why we're so insisting on the CPS system. Okay, thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks a
guys.
lot.
And we will keep encouraging people to register for CPS. We will keep encouraging them. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, guys. Hope to see you soon.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.